Yeah. So my name is Austin. I am here because I have a story to share with a lot of other people that can really influence and inspire people through the faith and power of God. Many people take their days for granted, take the little moments, the little things for granted physically, but I never had a choice with that. And it led me to be here doing my first Ironman 70.3 race in May in Chattanooga, Tennessee. And that's why we're here to film this, to capture this, and just to be a vessel for the Lord and be able to be a testimony for Him to reach others. With this disease being naturally progressive, it's something where you just have to constantly show up every day. And the way I like to explain it for people from another perspective outside a clinical perspective is, if you take a house, you have all the wires that are in it, but not all the wires are firing the way that they should to either turn on the lights or anything electrical, to heat the house, to run water, whatever that looks like. The wires are all there in the body, as the nerves are in this sense, but it doesn't necessarily want to click in the same dialogue as a normal person.
His muscles are constricted and tightened a lot more than the average person's. They atrophy at a higher rate, they're tighter. He feels super stiff waking up, almost like the Tin Man. I joke with him a lot about that.
CMT stands for Charcot-Marie-Tooth, named after two physicians in like the mid 1800s. And essentially what it is, it's what we classify as a hereditary mixed sensory motor neuropathy. Hereditary means it's a genetic anomaly. You're essentially, inheriting your parents' genes, and these are passed on. It involves the sensory portion of nerves, the motor portion of nerves, and neuropathy in general just means disease of nerves.
Especially when he's training, he has to be hyper-focused on where he places his feet when he walks, on how he's squatting in the gym, on how he's running. I often tell him to loosen up a little bit, but that's how he has to be. He has to be just locked in on all things in life just to operate like a normal person.
The guy has to put in probably 20 to 30, maybe even 40%, maybe more effort than any person that is not dealing with CMT. So his baseline, his floor is already higher as far as the effort that he has to put in to complete the task that he's placing his body through.
Who's Peyton?
Yeah, Peyton's been one of the most influential people in my life. One of the closest people that I can call a friend, almost close as a brother. I like to tell people Peyton is not only gifted naturally with physical abilities, but he has so much work ethic that goes into it.
My name is Peyton Hodges. I work for Ironman actually, and also run a ministry here alongside Austin, who is one of my best friends, by the way. It's an honor to be able to talk about him today. So Austin and I have been training together for a while, and we've done tons of competitions together. We've been talking about doing an Ironman together for a while, and last year we kept saying all right, next year we're doing an Ironman, next year we're doing an Ironman, and we just kept verbally saying it. I'm gonna get him this and just send it to his email, and we're gonna have no choice after this. Yeah. We've signed up, we're doing it.
I get a text message from him. He says, "Hey dude, check your email, see if it's an Ironman email." And my heart just starts racing. My heart is just going, and I'm like, oh my gosh, did he actually get me a ticket? Right away I look, and it says, congratulations, you have been given a ticket for Chattanooga 70.3. I'm eating lunch at the table we were at our old house, and Matt and Tawny were doing dishes in the kitchen. I jumped up, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, let's go. They were like, what's going on? I'm like, Peyton just got me a ticket into Chattanooga. I texted Blaine and just said dude, I'm in on Chattanooga. I'm not just giving a verbal commitment, I'm signed up. I think everybody feels this way when they sign up for something they're scared of or something they know is a challenge, is, can I actually do this? Do I have enough time? That fear of the unknown just really sets in. And so for me, I'm sitting up in my desk chair with my heart still racing, getting chills, being like, holy smokes, I gotta swim 1.2 miles. I gotta bike 56. I gotta run a half marathon after that. Oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? I talked to God and was like, God, I feel called to this. You obviously made a way to get the ticket for me through Peyton, but I need your help. Like, I need to lean on you more now than ever. Not only because I fear drowning, I don't know how to bike, and running on dead legs sucks already. So consulting Blaine about it a lot too, through many phone calls, was really good, and it really set us up for a good prep.
He's got a very unique situation, unlike many athletes. And one of the fun parts as a coach is just seeing that, acknowledging it, and trying to find workouts that best adapt to him. It's been a lot of fun. And he's also just very competent.
Yeah.
He loves the training. He loves rising up to the challenge, and that just makes it more the fun for me.
I feel like if you were to just watch Austin do his training, you wouldn't know. Like, he just looks like he's always on top of his stuff. Like, he's always eating a lot of food. He's up early doing his workouts. He's like getting it. Like, I've seen him a few times in the morning, and he's doing like stretches and stuff. This guy's like a pro athlete. Like, he just trains like one. You would never guess that he has some neuromuscular condition that limits his ability to do stuff. He's always finding time to get his stuff in, mixed in with his like crazy work schedule. Some weeks he's working 60 hours, plus all those social commitments he has, but he still finds a way to get it done.
One more time. We'll just have you go straight out and just get you comfortable being out there.
I don't think he says it, but I know he thinks about this race probably more than the other races he's done. I think it just requires so much more of a commitment, but also just more like investment, especially financially. And I know someone with CMT, he's probably like telling all the people he's seen in the past, like, I can do this thing, dude. Like, why are you telling me I can't? I think it's just gonna be a ton to him.
I'm confident, definitely. I mean, only did a couple 100 yards, but it still counts to at least get something in. I mean, I guess I feel more comfortable in open water than I thought, especially with being 40-some degrees out here. My teeth are chattering a little bit, but... I was talking to my dad last week. He called me on the phone on Easter. We don't, like, talk a crazy amount on the phone, like, in depth, but he started asking a bunch about the race stuff. And I was like, oh, this is kind of exciting. Like, he hasn't asked about it a lot. And he was telling me that, too. He was like, this is the funny part right away, is that he was like, so what's this race you got again? He goes, you got to swim, then run and bike? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, well, how far is it? And I was like, it's a 1.2 mile open water swim. It's going to be 1.4 because of the current carrying you to get the distance officially. And then it's a 56 mile bike and a 13.1 mile run. And he just, of course, he goes, holy cow. He's like, you're going to have it, you know, kind of thing. And then he goes, is there any place in that water you can just like stop and touch for a minute? I'm like, no. If I touch, I'm going to be drowning, like until I'm done. And he's like, he's like, you feel pretty prepared to swim? And I'm like, yeah, I feel really good about it. I'm building a lot of confidence with it. And then I said, my initial thing is getting in the first like 5 minutes out of like the 40 minutes I'm swimming is going to be like just shock. It's going to be, what the heck's going on? What am I doing? And that's when he brought up wrestling to me. He's always good about bringing analogies back to wrestling for me. And he was like, it's no different than when you're just sitting there like stewing on before you walk in the mat. And he's like, 10 seconds after you start, you're good. Yeah, growing up as a kid, my parents noticed it early on. I was literally walking on my toes, like a walking calf raise. And I would say I just struggled a lot more to keep up physically, especially wearing braces, casts. Just want to be included. You know, as a little boy, you always want to be the one that's hitting the home run in baseball, winning the wrestling match. For me, that always was always something that came up short.
He's mentioned how hard it was just as a kid, not being able to run around like normal kids at the playground, and he did get bullied a lot. And so his legs weren't working like other kids' legs work, and so it's really hard to hear, but also just so cool to see how he's grown from that. But he's risen above and become stronger, and it's just shaped him into who he is now.
I think back to the first time that I ever talked to Austin on the phone, dude. I told Austin, I said, man, your story needs to be shared with the world. Because he had just shared being a kid on the playground in casts, not being able to run and just play as a normal kid should be able to, getting bullied, getting picked on. And then in 2021, I just seen like a guy that was competing in strongman events. I'm just sitting there like, dude, like, why is this not being told, you know, across the news, across the world?
It causes a lot of self-consciousness, a lot of unconfidence, and a lot of questionability, and even sometimes victimhood of like the poor me, or why me, why even try at times, because as a kid you don't understand it and you want to, but you can't always sit here and justify it the way you can as an adult. Going into my junior into senior year, I was awarded captainship which was a massive jump in my confidence because I was so self-conscious through school going through this. I was able to squat 155 pounds for 8 reps, worked up to almost a 315 pound deadlift, put on 25 pounds of muscle, which was extremely hard for me with the atrophy factor in my body. Made the national Greco wrestling team and was leading guys in the weight room, writing programs with them, eventually working into the strongman journey, of course, and powerlifting, hitting numbers that from there on it was just kept skyrocketing, that, you know, people at that point weren't even trying like normal people weren't. So
one of the things that's really cool that's carried me through this journey is a lot of scripture has had to be grounded in my own life to see the faith come to play throughout this. And one of them that I'm rereading on just to remind me of my story here right before race day is John 9:1-4. I'll read it for you guys here and explain to you why it relates to Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease that I've obtained here for my whole life. John 9:1 says, as Jesus was walking along, he saw a man who had been blind from birth. Rabbi, his disciples asked him, why was this man born blind? Was it because of his own sins or his parents' sins? It was not because of his sins or his parents' sins, Jesus answered. This happened so the power of God can be seen in him. We must quickly carry out the task to the one who sent us. Always like to keep it close.
God has given his struggle purpose, man. The testimonies that we want to hear about and that we want to document are the testimonies of struggle and triumph. For him, living his whole life as a child, questioning why. Why do I have this disease? Why am I different from other kids? Why can't I be on the playground? Why can't I win a match in wrestling? Like, I think God gave him the answers to all those whys. This disease gives me a platform to tell people about Jesus that, hey, I may not understand why. My life may be much harder than the next guy's, but I still have a joy. I still have a purpose and an identity, and he still calls me his son. That's just been the biggest thing, is it's given him, you know, he's no longer waving in the wind. It's given him an anchor to say, hey, this disease has purpose, and I get to put that purpose on display to tell people and tell the world about Jesus.
God has brought Austin and I really close as brothers through training, doing hard stuff together and seeking the Lord through it. And as we've grown together as men and through our training, our faith has grown as well. And so now that's like, both of those are intermixed. Like when we're on bike rides in the garage or wherever, like we're blasting worship music, you know, before we do something hard, we're praying together. And so just including God and everything, and that's definitely our foundation as brothers in Christ.
He does hard things for himself to, you know, prove that he can do it, but also for his future kids and how he just wants to stay active and just able to carry them one day and show them what it's like to be disciplined and to work hard.
It's an incredible feat, you know, certainly one that I think he's certainly capable of, and what an awesome testimony he's going to have. There's a lot of other types of neuromuscular disorders, and I think they can oftentimes have a black cloud, you know, over them, but just because a person may have a physical ailment, it doesn't mean that they can't, you know, dream big and do some incredible things. So
I just want to see what my potential is with this disease. I want to see what the power of God can truly do within this. And I want to be able to lean on him in the hard times and go even deeper with something. It has been one of the coolest journeys I've been on to overcome the odds, to overcome adversity, and just wouldn't trade it, man. So knowing that my back was already up against the wall, I pretty much failed swimming lessons as a kid. I struggled to ride a bike, couldn't run in the playground for more than 10 minutes at a kick. And now people are, you know, my closest friends are telling me to go do a 70.3. It is so cool when people see that in you. I just picture myself looking downriver, looking at what's ahead, being like, work's done. You've put in this effort. You've done everything you possibly can. Now it's time to celebrate by putting this to work. There's nothing more you can do other than rely on God's strength, and when the times get tough, and know that you're put here for a reason, and there's a lot to be learned in this day, but enjoy it at the same time, because reaping this harvest of work is going to be fun. Crossing that line, not just because the medal's being put around my neck, but because I have an unlimited amount of support from in person and afar. This is gonna be cool. So let's get it.
We are live this morning in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Ironman 70.3 has arrived. Thousands of competitors from all corners of the world have made their way to this city, ready to take on one of the most demanding courses in the sport.
God's with you, never leaved you, never forsaken you. He's not about to start now. You've been called to this, been prepped for this, you've put the work in, you know who you are, and just go have fun.
The hay is in the barn, dude. You've put in hours upon hours of work. You stacked the bricks, and you're more than ready to absolutely crush this race.
Trust your process, dude. He's been successful for the last 2 races, and he's felt the same exact way for each race. I don't feel like I'm ready for this marathon. I don't know if I'm ready for this 50K. And then he ends up blowing him out of the water. Not gonna be any different for this. And I think he's gonna have a ton of fun. I think he's not gonna expect how fun this stuff is.
Let's go, big dog, let's go! Let's go!
Don't forget to have fun with it. He's put a lot of work into it, and so I think he goes in very calculated and wanting to make sure everything goes right. This is something that he was told he wouldn't be able to do, and so the fact that he's doing it is huge, and so he should just sit in it and enjoy it.
He's gonna go, he knows mentally what needs to be done to endure this suffering. He's put in the preparation,
You've already put in the effort that's required to get there. Today is just a day where you get to express your capabilities freely. When you cross that finish line, you are going to change the course of history for many, many people, brother.
The amount of people that you could potentially impact on what you're about to do is really grand. Realize that there's a little kid out there one day who may have this diagnosis. Your message is going to travel way farther than you know.
The window of opportunity is so small every day, and it's getting smaller, and it just keeps me leaning into Christ at the end of the day for what he did on the cross, knowing there's finished work, and I just have so many opportunities left to be able to make the most of and glorify him.
Can't be no light if darkness don't exist. He never left my side. He showed me the way out of all the storms raging at the sea. He gave me back my life. I owe him everything. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Forever and always I rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Always. He carried me to shore, held me through the pain. He loved me at my worst. I thank him every day. I will put him first, 'cause he did that for me. He sacrificed himself so I could find my peace. Rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Forever and always I rejoice, rejoice, rejoice in the name of the Lord. Put joy to his name every single day, 'cause he never left our sight. He showed us the way. Rejoice.